Welcome to the Keep It Real AF podcast. I'm Amy, and I started this podcast because I missed my friends. Life in your 50s isn't always easy, and it can feel like you're doing it all on your own, but you're not. We're here to talk about the things that matter and maybe even have a laugh along the way.
My vote, we start with skincare. I cannot wait to tell you guys about this amazing new product line I just found.
Meanwhile, I'm just over here trying to figure out my next career move and how to find a man. Priorities, right?
Yep, this is what we're about, keeping it real. A little friend time makes everything better. So glad you're here. Can't wait to hang out.
All right, welcome to another episode of Keep It Real AF podcast. As you can tell, this is a little different because we are in the flesh. This is so cool. So, as I mentioned, we are moms in our 50s. We've got kids that are looking at colleges. And so I've got my friend here, Steph, in the flesh because one of her sons is looking at Miami, Ohio. What are they? I don't know. What are they, Sean? What are the Miami of Ohio? I don't know. Whatever they are, great school. Her son's looking at it. It's a bird. It's a bird. Anyway, here we are. And we are so excited to be together. And I have to say, Emily's ready to toast.
Yes, it's been a week, y'all.
Did you want to spill some tea? I have to tell you, did you know that we have completely debunked pod fade? What? Pod fade is a phenomenon where most podcasters fade out. They fade out after the third episode. What? This is our 8th episode. We are in the 10% of podcasters who actually keep pushing out podcasts. Did you know?
I did not know.
I did not know that. We're together today because we aired again. We want to record, but we're here together. And we're going to toast the fact that it's our 8th podcast, and we are going to keep doing it because a little bit of fun time makes everything better, truly. And so let's toast out real quick. Ladies, I know it's great to be together in the flesh, but we're excited because we actually have a topic that is near and dear to my heart. We're going to share in a short time frame, we're going to share our top tips for keeping it together. Because honestly, that is a thing. We're busy moms who are dealing with a lot of life things, whether it's menopause, kids that are going off to college, big kids, bigger problems. We're also dealing with parents and parents who have lost their spouses. We're just dealing with that whole life stuff. So it's a real thing. It's a real thing, almost day to day for me. I can't speak for you ladies. But figuring out how do I keep it together? How do I feel like I can just feel whole, feel healthy, and just work through this time of life? So we're going to share our top tips, and I think some of them are really good. So if you haven't listened, please make sure you listen to the past episodes because you're going to miss out on some great things. But like always, before we get into the meat of our conversation, we love to dish some tea and catch up, and we're always interested in hearing Emily's updates because she's got a pretty exciting life right now. So, Emily, how is life for you? Tell us, fill us in. How are things going?
Well, glad to have this glass of bubbly because it's been a week. But spilling some tea. So last week we talked about Mr. International.
Yeah.
And so still waiting on Mr. International.
What do you mean still waiting?
You were still waiting?
I think he was waiting.
Yes, he was waiting, although we haven't really talked. So I haven't shared that, I'm no longer seeing out-of-towner. So I know I've got to share that.
Yeah, give him
I need to give him the
and
opportunity.
I thought that you were dating, I'd be you need to let him know.
I know. So I am. Yes, I know. But
Tonight,
right now, last weekend, I was out and I met another international, an older international.
So maybe the time is now,
So, and it was, we just
older. Let's qualify that. What are we talking about?
You said younger. When I say older, no, probably a couple of years older than me when I say older.
Okay.
Because
that's acceptable. Now,
our age
you
versus
said if
younger.
you didn't hear our last conversation, you need to go listen. Emily is there might be a love interest of a younger generation.
Hot.
20% though.
20%.
20% under or 20% over is acceptable.
It's totally
20%
acceptable.
over acceptable though?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Depends if he meets the criteria.
Yeah.
I agree.
White
totally
teeth.
agree. Yes.
Got his shit together.
Yeah. So, anywho, yeah.
So exciting. Like
So
What?
we'll see. He reached out to my girlfriend Monica and wants to see what we're doing tonight. If we wanted to stop by and see where he's going to be.
we're gonna live vicariously.
So, wow, we shall.
Yeah.
see.
I'm tuning into another episode of
I
House
know.
of Cards.
I need to know. Yes.
Yeah, it's exciting now.
So
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. Seth, how's your week been?
Well, I'm here in Cincinnati. I'm so excited to be here, and it's been great. My son is doing a college visit at University of Miami.
No, it's University of Miami.
What is it? Miami University.
Oh, I need a conflict. Is that
Sorry, it is. It is
Miami
University.
University? Oh,
It's
I
Miami.
know.
It's Miami University.
IF. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Again.
So anyway, and my daughter's looking at going to Miami University
Yes.
as well. So
Yes.
So here's some news for you.
Okay.
So I discovered last night that this university has 3 bars that you can be 18. Do you know this? You do know this. So I was pulled away from my girl time last night by my son, who said we were like 50 minutes from campus. And he said, hey, my friends are at the bar and I'm going to go. And I was like, you're 18? He said, no, they put like an X on your hand, but then you can still go to the bar.
Did he give you any details? Like, was he able to drink even though, maybe we don't want to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty loose, but I think at what was more interesting to me was that he ended up at a frat party, which I was like, I want to go.
I love that about.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so, yeah, he had a great time. We had a great visit. The campus is amazing. And so.
Did you go down some of the side streets
We did.
where you saw some of the houses? The names of the houses?
I
Yeah.
remember you saying that.
Yeah. Cleats and cleavage.
Yes. Call us a cleats and cleavage.
I didn't.
Tattoos and tits.
What?
Oh, boozing.
I noticed.
We wonder why we're worried about our children in college.
Right. Yeah. But it seemed like a really great. It seemed like a really
Yeah.
great school.
We know a lot
So
of
excited. Yeah, so excited for him to have this in consideration. And yeah. And bonus, I would be.
I'm
I know.
Yeah.
something off that.
Yeah. Yes, it would give me like such an amazing excuse to be here.
Awesome.
Yes. Then peace of mind, of course.
Yeah.
Because I'll be visiting all the time.
That's right.
checking in.
AMTM's checking in.
Yeah.
Everybody was an ANTM.
Yes.
Everybody's an ANTM. So, my week. So, I cooked up a storm this past week. I had my first trade show. I think I was telling you guys. So, I have a healthy snack line. I call it Healthy AF. Amy Fox. Actually, Emily named it. And it was super cool. Like, I cooked, I feel like hundreds of things, and sold out of a lot of them. So I've been in the frame of mind all around cooking. So it's been good. A little overwhelmed. Happy to have some downtime. But I was disconnecting the dots with Steph. It has been years since I've seen you in the flesh.
Yes.
And I know. It just kind of goes to show how.
Yeah, it's been 2.5 years.
Right. I want to toast our podcast again because one, it's just no matter what happens, having some time truly to connect with one another. Let's transition too, because this topic about what keeps you sane, I'm not trying to be funny. It's actually a battle. I don't know about you guys, but daily, almost daily, I'm just trying to find ways where I don't feel overwhelmed. Or where after a day blurs into a 2 or 3 days and I'm at the end of the week, you kind of feel like you're spent. There's no gas in the tank. And unfortunately what happens is like I can't be like as involved or as engaged with the family, or just feel tired and like sometimes lonely and sometimes just burned out. So it's never a perfect thing, but I feel like there's been a few things I've been experimenting with that work. And most importantly, I don't feel like as women, especially women in our 50s, we are not talking enough about this because it is a real thing. Just feeling lonely, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you might be on an island and you're not.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd kick us off. I thought I'd kick us off, and we're going to share a few things that are working for us to kind of help you stay grounded, stay whole, or just not feel like you are as out of gas. So just kind of help you stay safe. And one of the things that I want to share with you is perfect for this transition. It is called the female friendship effect. I heard about this over the past week, and it reminded me that this is what's happening here. And I truly, like, genuinely, like, when I was thinking about how can I add value to this discussion, it's something that I'm trying to do a little bit more of. So the female friendship effect is truly like a phenomenon that was researched by UCLA. There's a study that came out in 2020 and then multiple others that basically said women in particular, when they connect with other women, they release oxytocin in their brain and it makes them feel good. And then it leads to you feeling effects of like health and well-being. And I got to thinking about that. And for me in particular, it's really challenging. Like, I genuinely mean that. Like, I am an introvert that needs to be extroverted for situations like these. So it's difficult for me to say yes to a girls' night out, sometimes to book club, because I'm just like mentally fried. I don't have anything left to be extroverted. And so for me, what I've noticed is that sometimes it doesn't have to be the big thing that I commit to. And I know this sounds crazy because here's Emily about ready to go out. But for me, I had a long week of work and I'm like, I just want to like hang out with my husband and my family and connect. But time over time, sometimes you can start to feel lonely or start to feel like you are dealing with things that no one can relate to. And I think that's the key point is that, and actually to be really like transparent here, that's why we actually created this podcast. Because I have an ADHD kid. So does my friend Steph. And we sometimes text about it. And when we talk, I feel like I'm not alone, that someone else can relate to me. So for me, one of my strategies is to challenge myself to connect with another woman, connect with a friend. So whether that's going for a walk for 20 minutes with one of my good friends, Laura, in the neighborhood, or just sending a text to a friend. That's a minimum thing that I'll do. But like forcing myself out of my comfort zone. Even if I don't read the book, I'm showing up at book club because I have a couple laughs and I feel good. And to be honest, like a lot of times that's really been my saving grace. So it's just feeling like I'm not alone, but making sure that I just find that connect time. Can you guys relate?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I find myself committing to things because I feel like, yeah, it sounds great. And then at the time, about an hour before, I'm like, oh, God, I have this. Because I just want to get in my pajamas and I just feel like I want to decompress.
Steph, for the record, Steph did say, could we record in our pajamas?
But I did.
You all don't know Steph, but this is casual for her. She has jeans on. I said, you have a jeans on? That doesn't count. I have sweats.
Well, I find, I find that I have to force myself because my instinct at the moment is that I want to pull back and I don't want to go because I'm tired. I have a million things like everybody else. And then I find, to your point, that I go and I have conversations and I have connections. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want more of this. And then, but the cycle continues of feeling like I don't have time, or my kids need me, or my husband needs me, or my house needs me.
You just feel guilty about doing it.
Or I'm just tired. Mm-hmm. So it absolutely resonates with me. And I think for me, I have to push myself to, stay true to those commitments. And I think for me, what kind of gets me through, I have to move
my body in the morning, or I just, like for me, that is a non-negotiable. So today we hiked to campus in the cold, and that was, for me, that was what I needed to jumpstart my day. But I think, for me, what I need to pull myself together. I've been very honest in the past podcast that I oftentimes have empty refrigerators. My meal planning is a big struggle for me. And I find that if I can get myself organized on the weekends or do a grocery run, and Amy has been amazing in providing me with some recipes and some tips, that really sets me up for success for the rest of the week. And so I feel like if I can check that off the box, or check that box, I feel like I am much more, I have a lot of stress relief heading into the week, knowing that I have groceries in my refrigerator, as silly as it sounds. But for me, that is a big one.
I've been talking to a few new clients lately, and their health goals are ambitious. I mean, they're all like our age, and they have, they're frustrated and they want to like see the scale change, and just more importantly, like, they want to feel better, but adding movement into their day. They're all like 3 women that I'm thinking about have intense work schedules. One's a nurse, one's a teacher, one works in corporate America, and they find it really hard because they haven't done this to fit it into the day. So one of the things that I'm sharing with them, which our listeners might find valuable, is I am just building it in. I learn what their morning routine is. Like, what are you doing today? Are you a coffee person? Are you a water person? Are you a tea person? And in most cases, we're adding on, while they wait for the coffee, we're adding in 10 minutes of movement in the flow of the morning.
Yeah.
So this one woman got some weights from I think it was her brother, and she put them right by her couch. And while she's waiting for the coffee to brew, she's doing like 3 sets of just 10 squat push-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's more for the completion and just for self-confidence to do that. But a little bit of movement, if you just commit to 10 minutes and just figure out, how do you add it into the flow of your day? It doesn't have to be going to the gym. I think that's just like the biggest mistake people make, is they feel like they have to create such a new habit that is such a big thing that it's never going to get done consistently. Like, consistency is the name of the game.
Yeah.
When it comes to a habit, any habit. And so figuring out a way to like reduce it to the simplest, tiniest, and build it onto the flow of your day seems to be like something that I'm at least seeing some progress with them. So you're talking about movement. I know that you are a gym person.
I am. I'm a morning. I know you're an afternoon person, but I'm a morning. I have to get it out of the way. And I feel like that really sets the tone for me to start my day. And it also, for me, really releases my brain. If I have a really tough situation that I'm struggling with, particularly at work, I will save it to a time that I have the ability to, run or walk or really move my body, so that I can release my thoughts. And then that is oftentimes when I find that I'm most creative and I'm able to solve my toughest problems, when I can release those thoughts in my mind and combine them with movement, that it comes much more naturally.
Awesome. How about you, Em?
So for me, I've always I love to be around people. So I am definitely I need that community. So I go out a lot. I go out with my friends a lot. I'm always out doing things.
By the way, we had a text last night as Amy and I were about to settle in for the night, and she was with a band.
Yeah.
And just really confused. Yeah. I was like, what's happening? What's happening? Why is she with the band right now?
Yeah. It was open mic night, in which they have a lot of really good bands that'll come in, lead singers and stuff, and play. And so you get a lot of really great music. So blessed in Cincinnati that we have such great music here. So for me, I love to be around people, and because if I'm at home alone all day, and now currently not working. So today, one of these, how do you keep it together kind of moments, I interviewed on Tuesday. I got an email today of, oh, sorry, we're moving forward with the other candidates, which I thought was a really great interview, very well qualified, and thought, okay, the stars and the planets are aligned. Like, this is a good opportunity for me. And I replied back and was like, hey, can you provide some feedback?
Yeah.
Was it something about the interview, something about my resume? Like, can you just provide? And they couldn't do that. So
That's a bummer.
I know. So for me, like in the middle of it, you get the rejections. So it's how to deal with the rejection. It's like, okay, thank you. Next, I just have to constantly be positive about it, because if I wasn't, I would literally huddle in a corner and cry all night long. So you just have to, so I have to think, okay, I got to surround myself with amazing friends and be busy and keep my mind off of things. And so that's how I deal with it. Like, that's one of my main motivators, is keeping myself surrounded by positive people and that keep uplifting me and saying, you know what, it wasn't the right opportunity.
That's right.
So it's, yeah.
Well, my friend, you are inspiring. I hope that you're like people. I know that because people share this, and you are, because there's just there's a resilience about you that people feed off of, like the impact you have on other people. But just, I really admire your resilience, and it's because there's just the best opportunity. It's the timing.
It's timing, and I know it's the right opportunity, just hasn't happened. Even though I keep thinking it's a great opportunity, it's not. Like, it's, and I know God is really steering that boat.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of that, I wanted to share this, and it's a little bit like, I'm not someone who is like on the extreme of faith, but I think, like, if we're talking about and keeping it real about the strategies that keep us sane, I would have to say, like, because this has been a really tumultuous, time with just a lot of stress and anxiety with family and kids, and just like life, right?
Yeah.
Like all the changes in life that just change, things you can't control. And that's like why I think it's just such an important topic for us. But for me, like, I feel like no matter what your faith is, like having a faith for me, like leaning into that so that I can sort of surrender to, like, there's a plan for me.
yes.
And I mean, like, to say that that's a small thing would be an absolute lie. And I've always promised to keep it real on here.
Yeah.
But for me, like in the morning, like being in scripture, I have an app, and I love sharing things that are practical. It's called the Holy Bible app. Emily and I share things if you're open to it. It's what I love about it is it's so practical. There's a verse, and then it's all about how you apply that. And I just find that I just start the day off in a way where I just am centered. And most importantly, what keeps me sane is that the 5 minutes that I spend is quiet time, and that just silence that allows me to, like, really mentally and like everything. It gives me a minute to just center myself on the right things before I get carried away with work or the kids. And so for me, I have found that what's different, I've always thought I was faithful, meaning, I'd go to a church, or I just would think we were, as a family or personally, be exercising our faith, but carving out a little bit of time and just realizing that, I mean, some point I have to turn it over, because there's like, it's not a lot. So, that's another strategy for me.
Yeah.
Are we getting too serious?
No, we're not getting
I
too
don't think
serious
so.
at all. No.
I'm glad we're together.
Yes, I know.
I'm so glad we're together.
No, it's been forever, lady.
I know.
I know.
Friend time makes everything better.
Yes.
I hope that this has been, I don't know, just like, if it's just an opportunity for you to think about some things. Is there anything that we haven't talked about? Well, I have to tell you, just to keep it real, behind this computer, there's been a DoorDash delivery. What else?
Well, there's been children, mine and yours.
Nerf Force. Nerf Force.
Yeah,
And
I've
do you
heard
know, like,
something
this
about
is so, I'm going to keep it real. So my middle and my youngest aren't the closest. They just aren't. They're different personalities. But my middle was approached to like to reveal the youngest location for Nerf wars in high school. If you've got kids in high school and college, you're gonna get this, like especially high school. But I explained to the middle that he should collaborate with his brother, his family, and they should like get a scenario. So it sounds so silly, but these stupid Nerf wars, I actually think are bringing kids, my two kids who don't have a lot in common, together. They're having fun. Like behind the scenes here, there was some like air pumping of Nerf guns and some strategy about what to do if someone drives in our driveway.
Yeah. Strategic alignment. I love it.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And I mean, as a parent, you know, I don't know. You want your kids to be close, but sometimes they're not. And then you see opportunities and moments you're like, yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. What else, ladies? Is there anything else that we want to share? I mean, I have to share too, like nutritionally, there are some things to feel sane.
Yes.
But we don't have like
eating healthy.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know,
For sure.
it makes you, feel
something
better.
I'll share with
versus-
members that is super simple. And then we're going to like let these eating a one ingredient, like having a day where you dedicate to one ingredient foods. So I know that might sound challenging, but like,
It's just wine in here, right? Or grapes in here.
Yes. Yes, there's grape. There are lots of grape.
yes, not today, but having a day
it's just-
where it's like, no, it's like limited packaging. You'll feel this. Ladies, what else? Anything else?
So I just want to say, so I'm wearing the Food and Mood shirt today. My beautiful friend Amy gifted me this shirt. It's beautiful. And so I have been so fortunate while I've been here to actually taste some of her best-selling products. And I have to tell you, I'm in a lot of trouble. I mentioned I actually left last night and I went to the university with my son and I was dreaming of one thing, of that, not only going to sleep, but I was dreaming of this brownie that I had tasted before I left. And I was like, damn, I should have got one to go. And so I couldn't wait to come back because I needed this brownie. And anything that tastes like a brownie, looks like a brownie, but is healthy and full of protein
110 calories,
Yes.
baby, no protein.
is incredible.
Labor of
so
love.
I am just giving a plug
you.
to Amy because
We're making
Like-
Steph's pancakes tomorrow morning. Her
yeah,
pancakes. She's like-
but I'm changed on these. So Amy needs to link how you can order them for yourself because these are a
Yes.
game changer for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm learning logistics, so just be patient with me, but I
Yes.
promise.
And your happy ending bites
Yes.
are really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The popcorn.
And
I
just
am
the
excited.
popcorn.
Like,
and
that's
like
the popcorn.
and the trail mix and like
I ate a bowl of the popcorn.
yeah.
It's like a bowl. Yeah.
It's
That.
good. It's good.
A vat, if you will.
All right, so thank you so much for listening. Share with your friends, and hey, here's to keeping it real and a little bit of friend time. Hopefully, this was some friend time, right?
Yes.
All right, make it a great week.
Thank
That was great.
Thanks for joining. Share this with your friends. We'll see you next time.